Hey guys, and welcome back to Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. And we are in our final level of the secret passageways. In a sense, we do still have the final two levels, but we're not going to be going there for a while. Welcome to Who's Yella in the Cellar. And as I said at the end of the last part, somebody in the development team really likes the spooky space Kook, because they are freaking everywhere here. And they all infinitely respawn. So the first thing we gotta try and do is grab all of these Scooby Snacks. And of course they want you to make use of the bubblegum. So there's bubblegum everywhere. We can't go through that door, however. It is locked from the other side. Nope, I need the gum. I keep calling it bubblegum. There's no actual bubbles that come out of this thing. Of course it had an official name, but it was a really long official name and I don't even remember what that was. Sometimes you do wonder why these levels are split into parts. Like, what was that? That was a single room on the... There are two rooms. That door, like a moment, is another room. Like this. This is just a really narrow corridor. Okay, so there is a gimmick here, but first we've got to get all the Scooby Snacks. Unfortunately, that requires bouncing on a lot of space Kooks. Wow, why doesn't he activate the switch? Surely he's heavier than me. Like, I'm pretty sure the ground pound works, but the switch immediately goes back up again. Oh, I'm so close. They do take a little bit to respawn. For the most part, that's fine, but there are occasions where you do just want them to come back. Like that. I kind of wish there was like an actual animation, like maybe they appeared in like a cloud of light or something, but no, they just do that. They just suddenly spawn right back in. I mean, in the actual episode, the Space Kook, like, there were like multiple Space Kooks that did appear, but that didn't really amount to much in the end. And that's what you gotta do. Got to open that up. So land on this. This opens up all of those thingamajigs. You hit the switch before it closes down again, and that somehow causes the urn to fall down, and then you can get the key inside. This makes no sense, but I don't care. Part 3. There's always a spooky basement, isn't there? Hey, like, why do we always get the basement? Do we ever do it any other way? Jeepers, it's the creeper. It's quite common in the in Mystic Manor. There's also ghosts, and there, once again, the ghost is all over this place. You know, the only reason these ghosts are here is just because, you know what, we've made a ghost that the player cannot kill. So let's just spam it everywhere for some additional challenge. That's the only reason this ghost is plastered all over the place. I mean, this room sort of goes around in a rectangle. So you can go left or you can go right. Which way's the right way? It's left. There is a switch here. Oh, look, there's a ghost in there as well. I wonder if there's any more. It's surprising, even though the camera is quite zoomed out, it's actually very easy to run into that guy. Why is he here? What is the purpose of this ghost? And this one? I mean, this guy provides a bit of a challenge because he's at least going from one end to the other. But the other ones, the other two, I've seen there are Koopa Troopers that have like more freedom of movement than that. I mean, there is another switch up there. Unfortunately, we need the power-up that we get at the end of Who's Yella in the Cellar in order to hit that switch, which is annoying because it opens up that door that we saw at the beginning of part 1. And there's a Scooby Snack box hiding within that door. And it will be the only Scooby Snacks that I am missing by the time we get out of here. Seriously, somebody really loved these ghosts. And the annoying thing though is because there's so many ghosts in this part, it's very easy to die here, or whatever happens to Scooby. as such, and the annoying thing about that is that every time you respawn now, you're going to respawn by that door that I just came back through, that leads you back to part 1. Is it going to take you back to the usual starting point? Oh no. But look at all these ghosts! Why is there so many of them? It's super annoying, and by the way, there, just off to the left there is a room that has some... I'm not showing it off. There's a room with some Scooby Snacks, and once again, it takes you to a point of no return. Don't go through the door, otherwise you are going to be... I don't even know where it sends you. Probably, knowing this game, it probably takes you back to creepy crawlies in the hallways. I don't know. But don't go through it, or you won't be able to go back. I died so many times in that room full of ghosts. I realise I'm not showcasing all the Scooby Snacks. It's literally a square room with a big hole in the middle. And you just got to bust through the wall to get in there. But there are Scooby Snacks down in that bottom section. It's such a stupid idea. Why put Scooby Snacks down there if you then can't get back up again? So, this is the freezer? What is this place? This, for some reason, Who's Yellow in the Cellar Part 4 is really cold. And yet, no cavemen in this entire area. Not one caveman is here. So in all how did I not get hit by that? In all corners of the room there are some switches. They will go back up again after a short while, so you need to hit them quickly. And there's a moving ice block. I don't know why that ice block moves when you touch it, or when you jump on it, but it does. Doesn't actually do anything. Like, it isn't used to activate anything, it isn't used to get any Scooby Snacks. You're perfectly capable of just getting up here by doing that. And we go from a freezer to a laundry room. It's a strange combination. Like, there's no explanation as to why that room is cold, and now all of a sudden we're in the laundry room. At least this one makes sense. But it's a laundry room that is home to haunted tumble dryer. No, haunted washing machine. I think these are the tumble dryers. Haunted washing machines. If you ground pound on top of the tumble dryers, whatever these things are, there are surprises hiding inside. Just like that. And we get our final power up, the soap bubbles. Let's demonstrate. You trap them in a bubble and use them as a platform. It's essentially a better version of the chewing gum. I don't think it quite lasts as long, but you have more freedom of movement because they actually become platforms rather than just something you bounce on top of. But you do need that power up in order to get into the final level of the game. But this is where it takes you back. It takes you back to Clamor in the Manor Part 4. So you end up back in that slippery kitchen. Where Geronimo is. The only two Geronimo in the game, since that one that's over that we saw in whatever level it was. Was it All Scares Upstairs? Whichever level it was where Shaggy was being chased by Geronimo. He won't spawn back there again. So these are now the only two Geronimo in the game. But look at this. We've got so many Scooby Snacks, a whole load of monster tokens. So let's start from part 1, the Mystery Machine part 1, where I've already collected all of the Scooby Snacks, and we'll make our way forward from there. It is time for the cleanup. There's going to be a hell of a lot of editing here. Not all of it done in the right succession if I had to backtrack to a room I already visited. Because I might have missed something. So we are in Clamor in the Manor Part 2. Remember this thing that I was struggling to get to before? Well, now we can. So after accidentally killing, well, accidentally I say, after stupidly killing the Headless Spectre the first time round, and the second time round, I had to kill myself and try again. So that's how you do it. Trap them in a bubble or in the chewing gum, and then you can easily get, well, you can sort of easily get to those Scooby Snacks, depending on whether or not the collision detection actually wants to work with you. Okay, we're back. I meant to cut out that part of me going through Clamor in the Manor Part 3. So we got 3 Scooby Snack boxes. So we're back in Part 4 again. There is nothing in this kitchen. We have collected everything here.
Right, it's the Headless Spectre.
We just need to get to the room where the Geronimos are.
It's Geronimo.
So this one's a little bit awkward. You've got to try and lure the Geronimo back in here. So try and get his attention. He is one of the ones that chases after you, so I still want to know what it is he's saying. So get him over here, drop him in a bubble, and then you can get to those Scooby Snacks. The other Scooby Snacks, I'm surprised I missed these. I'm surprised I missed this box before. I guess I just went through that door. If you hit the, push the book back in on this bookshelf, it comes up, box of Scooby Snacks hidden inside. Back in Part 3, it's down here. You can very briefly see it did say all snacks collected. Mind Your Manners, with its incredibly spooky little bit of music that plays when you enter Part 1. Still don't know why it plays that. So we activated this fan, it remains permanently on. And there are Scooby Snacks up here. Unfortunately that door automatically opens and takes you straight to Cower in the tower. I think when you're collecting the Scooby Snacks it's kind of impossible to avoid it happening. But there's also a switch down here. There's also a tower monster down here. Well, I don't think it's here when you first get here. How many times am I going to say the word here? So activate the switch. And there's a whole load of snack boxes. Unfortunately, I can't go back down to Mind Your Manor, so you've now got to go to the top of Cower in the tower. And to get back to Mind Your Manners, you're going to have to go through the warp gate. So back to Clamor in the Manor Part 4, and then go through the door. So back in Mind Your Manners Part 1, so this is in the little corridor section after the big fan room with all the ghosts. Use the chewing gum on the spider right here. Watch out for this collapsible floor, and it will take you to the what do you call this thing? Is it? What do you call these things? There's a bat. It's kind of awkward. You can't really jump away from the hanging candles and then land back on it. That was not quite high enough. Why can't I bounce on it? And then unfortunately, I landed on the bat. Luckily, I can still use the spider if I get him as far across as possible to still get back up there. Right, then there's more around here. So again, try and trap the bats in the bubble when he's at his maximum height. Again, you just wish that... Oh, that was a mistake. Right. Plan B, use the werewolf. That takes you up to this one. Yeah, the gun lasts a lot longer. So close. Is this where I committed suicide, or am I thinking ahead of it? There is a popping sound effect that tells you when the bubble's about to pop, but it's weird. Yeah, why did I do that? Yeah, there is a popping sound effect that tells you when the bubble is going to pop. But it plays so much earlier than the actual popping, so I don't know why they bothered. Maybe it's just a warning, but it does it so much earlier. And it's not like the chewing gum has any warning. So let's try that again. And there we go. Do those things, they can surprise you when they just suddenly jump out of those wardrobes. All these incredibly numerous wardrobes that are in these very random locations. Okay, sorry that I keep cutting out here, but it's because I thought that I edited out all the fluff. So it turns out there were a couple of bits that I did leave. And we don't need to see. I didn't need to be in Mystic Manor's part. Whichever part that was. So we're back here. So this time the Scooby Snacks are actually quite well hidden because this room is pretty tall. So you need to trap this ghost. Which I completely ignored. So we'll get back to him, but we need to trap this ghost. Check out that picture of Mr. Hyde. It's like his eyes are going a bit crazy. At the very least, we don't need to ride that thing in that room anymore.
Right.
We can just jump and glide our way along, our way around the other side. So trap him.
Rudy.
Scooby Snack up there, and there we go. So all the snacks in Mind Your Manners. All scares upstairs. There were a lot of snacks that we couldn't get in this place. So we're in part 2. Remember these stairs that became a slope when we landed on them? Not a problem anymore. There's a little bump there that you can't actually walk up. We'll get to that section in a moment. Let's just continue along here once again.
Scooby.
There's that there as well. And we can get a bit more ammo for our chewing gum. Which seems a bit weird considering that when you grab it, it turns into a load of bubbles. Never mind the creeper. Let's get back up here because there is a middle section that will take us to our next monster token. So bash this down. It does come back up again after a bit. Try and land on the candles. That's what I'm going to call them anyway. And try not to get hit by the bats. Oh, come on. Fine, we'll go the long way around. Ignore him. I mean, all he's going to do is wander around. He does chase after you if he sees you, but he's not exactly going to do much. I remember my introduction to the Creeper was in Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, and I was just like, this guy's just weird. Like, he literally just goes, creepy, and then roars. So this guy's hilarious. In fact, Cyber Chase actually introduced me to a lot more of the monsters than Where Are You did. And I know some of them in the Scooby-Doo show. Which then has a complicated history in what's the Scooby-Doo show and what's Where Are You. But I watched the Cyber Chase before I was introduced to the Creeper, the Tar Monster, Gator Ghoul, Old Iron Face. I think that's all of them. Oh, and that thing that's like a gorilla body with a panther's head, the Jaguaro thing. I think I've seen that episode. I'm not really sure. Anyway, there's one hidden random Scooby Snacks just up in this corner. Why is this Scooby Snack here? I have no purpose to be going back here. And for some reason you go in that room and the music changes. Again, no idea. It doesn't even change back when you leave the room. It's just the music just changes. I guess because it's supposed to be more happy music because you've now found Shaggy? I don't know. Originally. Now we get an upgrade to our soap bubbles. I've already activated that switch. It just doesn't look like it. And there we go. We can now carry more soap. Part 4. So once we get up here, over the falling balconies and everything, just grab those snacks, and there we go. It's quite a lot. I think All Scares Upstairs has the second highest number of Scooby Snacks. It's like 390. All we need to do here is just collect the soap bubbles that I ignored the last time, because otherwise we got all of the Scooby Snacks when we first visited. And Panic in the Attic Part 2. / Part 1, because of Camera in the Tower. Okay, so this part was like a slide when we first got here, but now we have the plunger, so we can just go down here normally now, grab ourselves the creeper monster token. And that was that. So now we are here, and our final box of Scooby Snacks. Let's trap the caveman. We have a Scooby Snack box just up here. Which brings us to our final level of today's part, a dark and stormy night. So this roof is slippery, so again, use the plunger. And get the Scooby Snacks up here, and they go just down here. They hide them away from you. And then our final set of Scooby Snacks are in part 2. Hence the loading screen. And it will always show this every time. Shaggy will always come back here, and he'll always be inside these chimneys. And yet, he runs in fear of the witch later on in the game. Like, that does not seem like something Shaggy would have fun doing, because it's Shaggy. It's like he's scared of everything. We just have a couple of Scooby Snacks to try and avoid once I can actually land on the magic carpet.
Scooby Snacks.
And then there's one box of Scooby Snacks at the other side, and that will be it. That'll be all of the Scooby Snacks in the part that the game refers to as Mystic Manor. Well, Mystic Manor and the rooftops. So you can't walk on this without the plunger. For some reason, they look pretty flat to me, but regardless. Why can't I just go up there? What am I stuck on? But that is all of the Scooby Snacks in this part of Mystic Manor. So next up, we're going to be heading to the hedge maze. And getting absolutely lost there. We'll do these through sections. So we'll do the hedge maze through to the graveyard, and then the harbour to the shipwrecks, and then the secret passages. So I will see you guys next time.